Her name is Sherry, super real estate pro. Sherry, super duper realtor to the stars. Real estate pro.
Down Beach Buzz. It's on fire. That's right. You'll love this new format. I'm all by myself. I can get myself in trouble without, hurting other people around me. And you know what I'm talking about, baby. This is a big story. It's December 12th right now, December 12th, 2024. And Margate's dirty deal. Is Exxon really that close to a deal with John Scott Abbott and Mayor Michael Collins over that gas station? Right in the middle of town. You got to buy that contaminated gas station. You got to buy it. Let me just click on that right there. You got to buy that damn thing. No matter how much it costs, no matter how much cleanup there is. And their deadline, what? They want to settle next week on the 17th or the 18th? Is it all because there's some grant money they can grab? I do like my new sunglasses a lot. I usually wear them playing pickleball, and it intimidates the competitor, the people on the other side of the net. Scares the crap out of them. It really does. Speaking of which, whenever I listen to city council meetings, commissioner meetings in Brigantine or Atlantic City, Ventnor, Margate, whatever, I always, in my mind, I'm always thinking of a nice song I could sing along to just to keep me kind of chill. You know what I'm saying?
It's raining bullshit tonight.
Earlier today, I sent a Oprah request to Johanna, the city clerk of the city of Margate. And Johanna is very good at what she does. Actually, I think all the city clerks do well, from Brigantine, all the short towns. They're pretty responsive. They really are. They have to be. They have to be by law. And I kind of like that idea. Let me just click here. I want to have you see it too. Badass glasses, man. You like them? You're jealous, aren't you? I could tell. Okay. So on December 12th, the morning of December 12th, that's today, 2024, I wrote a Oprah request via email to Johanna Casey, the esteemed city clerk of the city of Margate. And I said, hi, Johanna, this is a Oprah request, Open Public Records Act. It's a good act. I don't think Vince Palestina, the senator, is a big fan of it, but that's another story. I say, hey, Johanna, please provide the report or reports on that recent engineering and survey study in reference to the proposed Liberty gas station cleanup by Exxon. This was mentioned by Scott Abbott, the esteemed solicitor, Ed Dennis, the engineer, and yourself, Johanna, December 5, 2024 commissioner meeting. Also, could you be so kind to provide the emails and written communications between Solicitor Abbott, the esteemed solicitor of Margate, and Exxon in reference to this project over the past 6 months? Thank you. So, and Joanna always gets back pretty quick, even if it's not information I want to be happy about, you know what I'm saying? But good, she's very, very good at what she does. She really is. I always think that Kool and the Gang wrote that song about her. Yeah. Okay, so good afternoon. She responded really, I'm not sure, but very soon thereafter from my Oprah request. As you are aware, contract negotiations are not Oprahable. I'm not sure if I'm aware of that, but that's a pretty important thing to know, especially since the esteemed solicitor, John Scott Abbott, he's using the money of the taxpayers. He's a fiduciary, right, John? So I appreciate what Johanna's saying here, but it's
raining bullshit tonight.
John Scott Abbott. He's the best though. He has cojones, man. He has cojones. Yeah, it's true. I think I'm trying to be a mix of a podcast influencer, kind of a mixture of all my favorite people. Sherry Lilienfeld, Johnny X from Ducktown Tavern. Please provide the Exxon stuff. So the last paragraph says, when we are in receipt of the document, we will forward it to you. At this time, the clerk's office is waiting for it. At this time, the clerk's office is waiting for it. I could have swore that you guys had a copy of it. I think John Scott Abbott, the esteemed solicitor of Margate, who has very little interest in real estate and stuff like that, it's really a bother to him. He says everything's right there. I'm telling you, you guys getting taken for a ride. That's why you got to get in politics, especially down the shore where there's no voters. It's a great gig. Yes, John. Stupid. Right, John?
It's raining bullshit tonight.
All right. So nice photos here. The mayor on the left there with the bro hawk in the middle, Claire Swift, and our good friend, Vince Palestina, Senator Vince, who I think he's working on figuring out what's going on with the drones. He's very busy with that right now. I think he can solve that. Is he working together with Jeff Van Drew? And my favorite senator, Mr. Testa? Come on, Vince, do something. Do something, my friend. You were good at one time. And real quick, where the hell's Maury? Maury, where are you? You're nowhere to be found. You really aren't. At the parade, 2 weeks ago? Here comes the administration of Margate. And you're not there. So that's a problem. So Maury, hope you don't mind, Maury Blumberg, the commissioner of Margate, one of the three. He was supposed to be mayor. But Maury, a question. You have a business card, right? What exactly is your title there for the city of Margate? Commissioner of Revenue and Finance. What does that mean? You overlook recreation or environmental issues? What's your duty primarily focused on? Social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion? Tell me. DEI, stupid. Oh, revenue and finance. Do you have any idea about how the money's being spent in Margate at all? Do you ever talk about it? No, you don't.
It's raining bullshit tonight.
So I was thinking, how do we save the city of Margate from just spending at the wazoo, allowing a small group of people to use their money to buy stuff that's in their best interest? Remember, this is all, the mayor needs to be looked at as a fiduciary of the taxpayers' money. What if you had a financial advisor? He was managing a couple of $1 million in a portfolio, and he decided to change his trajectory, change his outlook on what he was going to invest in. So he wanted to go rogue, and he did Bitcoin and all kinds of crazy, wind power, green energy, all kinds of stuff that's highly risky. Would you freak out and pull your money? Would you pull your money? Would you call him immediately and say, I want my money back? Of course, you probably would. And if there's some kind of malfeasance with how that money is being spent, you could go after them legally and civilly and all that, right? I'm not a lawyer. Mayor Collins and Kathy Horn, since they're the 2 votes out of the 3, so whatever they say goes. They are your fiduciary. Margate taxpayers, they're your fiduciary. Are they managing your money, your real estate, your assets, your appreciation appropriately? Put some thought into that, will you?
It's raining bullshit tonight.
And where's Maury? Why is he not in the car? You got to talk to Maury about this, because Maury's a good guy. You don't always agree with him, but he's a good guy. So this is from Down Beach Buzz on December 10, 2024, and titled, Should Margate Trust Exxon to Clean the Contaminated Gas Station? Dismissing resident complaints, Solicitor Scott Abbott still pushing hard for Margate to buy the contaminated Liberty gas station at 7901 Ventnor Avenue. Abbott says he wants to settle the deal on December 18th, 2024. Critics of the plan say specific details of the agreement have not yet been formalized. Who the hell wrote this? Oh, it was me. Sorry. Would you? This is rhetorical. Would you buy contaminated property prior to cleanup? Most real estate execs we spoke to said, no way. Fucking on crack. That's exactly what Margate's doing, especially while 75% of taxpayers, that's the second homeowners, they're out of town. They're out of the loop. They're down in Florida. They're back in Philly. And they don't vote. They can't vote. And you guys do what you want. So here's some audio just to keep everybody honest. Not that they're maliciously, but whatever. You got to decide for yourself. Revenue and Finance Commissioner Maury Blumberg. He should know about every nickel and dime. He doesn't. So we really got to put pressure on Maury because we like Maury. He should have been the mayor. And he needs to step up because him being quiet, some might say Maury could be complicit in allowing it to go. Granted, he's only one vote of 3, but he needs to speak up. But he's not. All right, so now, so that's our picture of the gas station. I miss the gas station. We need gas stations and repair shops and all that kind of stuff. So the Liberty, so we know it's contaminated, but the city wants to buy this so fast. Actually, just 3 people. It's Mayor Collins, his father, Tom, Big Tom, and John Scott Abbott. Nobody else wants it. Nobody. I guarantee you, nobody wants it. Too much risk, but it's going to seemingly happen. So here's some audio clips from Thursday, December 5, 2024. The Margate Commissioners meeting. They're talking about what's going on with Exxon, the gas station. Is a deal in place yet? And listen very carefully to Scott Abbott, the solicitor, saying one thing, and then the engineer, Ed Dennis, saying something different. And you always get the feeling that there's something fishy going on here. So let's listen. Why don't we?
Former gasoline service station, Taylor's.
Thank you, Scott.
Mayor, we're moving forward with our purchase of the former gasoline service station, Taylor's. We have a tentative settlement for December 18th. We're working out the final details on a written document with Exxon, where Exxon will contribute monies toward demolition of the building, and hopefully we'll have a commencement date for both demolition of the building, which will run, and their efforts, they come in after us to finalize the cleanup of the property. So that is moving forward. I know Ed's people did their environmental investigation, the report. We're waiting to see that. We'll also have a new survey and a meets and bounds description, which I'd like to have that on the deed when we get the deed of conveyance. Just so that we're not surprised by it, we're going to let Taylor occupy the building to move his business out and shut down everything afterwards. He will be fully insured.
Hi, everybody. Kathy Heitzman, 22 South Adams Avenue. I wondered if we could get some details about the environmental review, those environmental documents for the gas station.
So I really wouldn't want to kind of freestyle on that. It's a very detailed report.
But it's important to us.
Sure, other than to say that it was a very thorough analysis. There really were no major items of areas of concern that came up other than what is already known by the current owners of the site. As Scott mentioned, once the building is demolished, there's a little bit of work that that Exxon would need to do.
I can help you on this one.
Sure,
too.
and then just one more item would be, and I believe that, and again, this is all part of the negotiation, so that's the other reason why we can't speak too much about it, but I think assurances are being put in place so that once we do demolish it, that anything else comes up, that we would be covered.
That Exxon is going to come in and remediate whatever's left to remediate. Right now, they have remediated portions of the property. There are 19 monitoring wells. And once the actual building is demolished, they can then come in with their heavy equipment and remove the contaminated soil, any remnants of tanks or any of that stuff.
So Exxon will be responsible, not the
Exxon will be
owner of the
responsible.
property.
That's the deal.
That's how it's going to work. It is December 18th. Okay, and then now, what about the ground penetrating radar survey?
We did that as a backup just to make sure that we had found everything. It was a precautionary move on our part to just sweep the entire property. I'm going to make sure they didn't screw up or miss anything.
Will we get that before we go to close?
We have that report.
We did that.
That's our
We
report.
did that. Yeah.
And so how did we do?
Good. Nothing was found.
Nothing was found, but sure, you can read it if you want.
And is it going to be on the website?
I don't know about the website, but I'll get you a copy of it.
Okay, great.
It's no problem. In fact, we wanted that report.
Scott,
Okay.
it would require an open request.
Would it require an open request?
Yes,
Okay.
it would.
So I would have to request,
Yes.
and how do I do that?
I don't know.
It's raining bullshit tonight. It's raining bullshit tonight. So go outside. Her name is Sherry, super real estate pro Sherry. Sherry, super duper realtor to the stars. Her name is Sherry, super real estate pro Sherry. Sherry, super duper real Mary Sherry, super real estate pro.